First off, I want to thank all the con staff, volunteers, and everyone behind the scenes that helped make BronyCon possible. It was an amazing event, and I hope every single person involved knows that their work has been appreciated, and it has been an absolutely phenomenal time for so many people, and I just wanted to thank you for all your hard work and dedication. I had a great time at BronyCon, and so here are some of my BronyCon moments. My experience at BronyCon would have been completely different if it weren't for the friends that I made there. I made 3 great friends that I spent my entire time with. We met at Ridgeline, and all of us had come on our own, and so it was really nice surprise that there was other people like me who really didn't have any plans except to hopefully find a group, and so we made a quick impromptu group, and we stayed with each other for the duration of the con, there was Chris and Tad. We also called Tad Cat Ears because he had those electronic ears. And both of them flew into BronyCon from Michigan and Illinois, which was absolutely cool that they could make it all the way here, whereas Arjun and I, we only drove here and we were relatively close. It was really cool to meet up with people from different parts of the country, and that we all shared a passion in this show, that we would spend our entire weekend celebrating. One of the coolest things happened on Saturday night. Now, I've been to Baltimore several times, and I know the Inner Harbor very well, but my hotel was a mile away. Now, a mile isn't that far, but giggling at the ghosties wouldn't take away my fear of walking down a city by myself in the middle of the night. It was not, as you can say, maybe the safest choice, but it was the only place I could find at short notice. When I checked into my hostel, I called up Chris and I left him a 2-minute one-sided conversation voicemail because he didn't pick up his phone. And I was just talking to the voicemail like I was talking to someone because I was so nervous about where I was going and going alone. And so after the rave, I told them about this, and they listened to the voicemail and had a good laugh. That Chris and Arjun, they walked me back to my hostel. Made me feel really safe just to have these 2 guys kind of protect me, the damsel in distress, who was too afraid to walk to her hostel because it was dark and creepy, and Baltimore can be very scary, and it was more of a safety thing than anything. But I really appreciate them going out of their way, and even in the next morning they came and picked me up and we all walked to the convention center together, and that really struck a chord with me that they were willing to do that for someone who had been a stranger not 24 hours beforehand. The cosplayers were fabulous. I'm very impressed with the creativity that this fandom has to come up with to come up and make a really good cosplay. My favorite cosplayer by far was a Maud Pie cosplayer. It was the very first panel that we went to. We were sitting, and she comes up with us and asks if we want to play a game, and we're like, okay, sure, this is going to be great. She holds up a bag, tells us to pick a rock, and then she tells us to memorize the rock. She puts it back in the bag, which is also full of rocks, and tells us to find the rock that we had just picked without looking. And so we laugh. It's like, there's no way we're going to find this rock. Absolutely no way. So we humor her. We try. We look for the rock. Where is it? Is it this one? We pick a couple. It's not that one. So eventually it's like, okay, there's no way we're finding this rock. We can't do it. She's like, well, what is this? In her Maud Pie way. So it's more like, wait a minute, is this your rock? And she pulls it out, and she had it the entire time Arjun played, and so she gave us rock candy for trying, and then she serenaded us with her rock poetry, which was stellar. Snaps all around, snaps for our Maud Pie. Easily, the thing that I was most excited for was the analyst panel on Saturday. I couldn't go Friday because of work, but I knew that everyone I wanted to see in the analyst YouTube reviewer community would be at that panel. So, and as well as just wanting some tips and tricks for my own channel. It was hosted by Eliora, Toon Critic, Voice of Reason, and Firebrand. I don't ship real-life people as just a moral thing, but when I see a cute couple, I'll dig it. and it's not something I expected. When Toon Critic and Eliara started kissing on stage, I was all for it, cheering them all the way. And Firebrand is beat red, super embarrassed about the whole thing. And Voice of Reason just doesn't know what to do. He's just, okay, they're kissing on stage, what? The whole panel was a little bit chaotic, but when they got to business, they did have some really good ideas and really good tricks that I hopefully will be able to implement into my videos. And afterwards, I got to speak with everyone, absolutely everyone. T-Bap was there, Digi was there, Brony Curious was there, Paleo was there, the original Doctor from Doctor Who's an Assistant. I got to chit-chat with him for quite a while, and that made my day. It was like meeting your first Doctor. It was chills down my spine. I loved it. There was a fair bit of spaghetti. I could put Italy out of business with all the spaghetti that was had that day. Part 2 of meeting Pony famous people. So I had broken away from my group of friends. We were meeting up later. And down the escalators come Brony Curious, Digi, and Peg Standard. And I'm really super stoked because I didn't really get a chance to talk to them. I had a little bit of chit-chat at the panel on Saturday, but I'm like, okay, I can go up to them, talk to them, have a real conversation. It's going to be great. So I bolt after them because they're far away and there's a lot of people and I'm weaving through other con goers trying to get to them. And I hear someone shout my pony names, and I stop. I'm like, wait a minute, these aren't the guys. Who is this? Who shouted my name? I turn around, and it's Phantom Horn. Even though we had met 24 hours previously, the fact that he recognized me just at a glance when I rushed right by him made my heart soar. I was in little fangirl happy land, and then the fangirl phase passed about 30 seconds later. It's like, okay, compose yourself. Cool. So we did have a cute little chit-chat. It didn't last very long. He had to go someplace. And so he broke off, and by the time I tried to get up with the other analysts, they were long gone. I had no idea where they went. That short interaction and that shock of being remembered was really just astounding to me. It made me feel special. Share some of your BronyCon moment in the comments below. I would love to hear them. And I hope to see everyone at BronyCon 2015.